Hello. Today I'm going to be discussing how you can renew your military dependence ID card here in the Philippines during the pandemic. They used to renew ID cards over in Manila, but due to the pandemic, they had discontinued that. So the only way you can really renew the ID cards right now is by mail. My wife's ID card expires next month. So that was one of the purpose that we went to the retiree activities office in Angeles City, the RAO, to renew her military dependent ID card. The requirements that they ask at the RAO to renew the ID card, she must have a 8 by 10 US passport style photo. And of course, her dependent ID card, she already has to have that. And then 2 valid IDs here in the Philippines, which for her, she had a postal ID and she's got a SSS ID here in the Philippines. And also, just for measure, we brought her passport with her. So we had three IDs. And also, you have to have your marriage certificate here in the Philippines. That is it's called the PSA original. They don't want a copy of the marriage certificate. They want the original. And then my copy of my DD form 214. Yeah, every retiree knows what that is. It's our ticket out of the military. Got that. So you just turn in all that paperwork, and the lady assisted us, and she had more forms to fill out, and the forms that she had filled out, she had my wife sign, then I signed, and it had to be notarized. So right across the street from the retiree activities office, there's a law office, and which is convenient because you can just walk across the street and they'll notarize the document for you. And it's Rivera and Rivera Law Offices. That's their card. I just got that from them. Also got a card from Mr. Jim Boyd. Here's his card. And they do a lot more than just renewing ID cards at the RAO. And what I'll do is after this, I'm gonna do a quick just on their website, so you can see some of the things they do at the RAO and some of the information they provide. And what's nice is all the information they provide and all the help they do is free of charge. They don't charge you anything. They basically work off donations, from people. And Mr. Jim Boyd, he's a really nice gentleman. I've known him. I retired 2004, and he was the RAO director already in 2004. So he's been around. There's not much that Mr. Jim Boyd doesn't know and can help you. Okay. All right. I'm going to go over their website real quick so you can see and learn with me. I wanted to show this website. It's the Retiree Activities Office website, and I'll put the link at the end of the video. It's at www.192.macarthur.wixsite.com/RAO Angeles. I've been going to this website since I retired from the military years ago. It's real handy. There's a lot of valuable information on this website. It's run by the Jim Boyd Foundation. Mr. Jim Boyd, he is a U.S. Embassy warden. He's also the RAO director. He manages the FPO in Angeles City, and he's also an IRS certifying agent. I'm just going to go real quick and go through some of on his newsletter here, some of the information, but you can go through the website and read the information for yourself, but I'm just going to highlight a few important sections of it. Right now here in the Philippines, if you have a military ID or a military dependent ID, there really is no way to renew it if it's expired. They used to have a, let me see it here. You could renew it right here. It says renewal initial issue military ID cards. The JustMag Philippines discontinued processing military ID card applications during COVID-19. However, we have continued to process mail-in applications via our RAO. Can visit us any day between 0930 and 1300 hours each day except U.S. Embassy holidays for assistance. And that was my purpose. That was my other purpose on visiting the RAO. My wife's military dependent ID card was going to expire next month. Her ID card expires 16 April. So that's why I went to the retiree activities office so I can renew her ID card by mail. So that's one of the services they provide. And if you go through the newsletter, they really offer a lot more than just renewing ID cards. They if anybody's, it says here recruitment for U.S. Armed Forces. If you're over 17 and interested in joining the U.S. Air Force or Army, they provide the tests, the ASVAB tests, in order to start getting that if somebody wanted to join the military from the Philippines. What else here? There, like I said previously, Mr. Jim Boyd, he's an IRS certifying agent. So if you need to get an ITIN number, if you married a Filipina and she hasn't been to the United States, she won't have a Social Security number. You would have to apply for an ITIN in order to claim her on your income taxes. So that's another service that they provide at the Retiree Activities Office. But like I said, you can go through the Mr. Jim Boyd's newsletter here, and you'll find lots of valuable information. I think every retiree, or even, he's got articles here for even if you're not a retiree, there's information here that if you're planning to live in the Philippines, lots of good information here that will help you. He's got information here, TRICARE, and here's got thinking about retiring in the Philippines, and it just discusses transfer of motor vehicles in the Philippines. Just good information to have. This is the RAO, the Retired Activities Office in Angeles City. Right across the street is Rivera and Rivera Law Offices. So if you need anything notarized, the documents that you need notarized, it's just right across the RAO office. The RAO office is located on MacArthur Highway. It's not too far from Astro Park and the McDonald's on Fields Avenue. So you can actually walk from the McDonald's on Fields Avenue to the RAO office.